Welcome to Life Stories with me, Des Tong. Now, my guest this week is a lady who is a singer-songwriter, and during her career, she's worked all around the world and met some amazing people and worked with some incredible artists. In fact, so much so that she's been asked to write a book about it. So I thought I'd invite her into the studio to talk to her. Welcome, Cissy Stone.
Oh, lovely, Des. Lovely to be here. Thank you.
Let's go right back to the beginning, because you were born in Ireland.
I was born in Cork, and then we moved up to Carlow, where my father was from. And then from there, we came to Southport in the UK. My dad got a job in Southport, and we all came over.
One of six?
Well, I'm the eldest of 6 children, yes.
Right,
yes.
That must have been exciting.
It was. Oh, it was a great time, yeah. Great.
But you went to school in Carlow?
I went to St Leo's Convent of Mercy in Carlow, yes, and it was great. I had a great time there, and really and truly started singing. I
was going to say, did you have any inclination when you were there that you would be interested in that?
I suppose, yes, I had a little bit, yeah, but I was really encouraged by a very young nun who was wonderful to me, Sister Assumpta, and she would enter me into all sorts of things. And every year we had a thing called a fesh, which is like you sing, you dance, you recite poetry and what have you. And I entered in the fesh as a singer, and I won 2 silver medals that day for the school, which was great. Yeah.
Right. And then when you came over you ended up in Birmingham.
We did. We left Southport, and Dad found a little shop in Birmingham, and started his own hairdressing shop, barber shop, really.
Highgate
Road, yeah, in Sparkbrook, yes, in Birmingham, yeah.
Were you into singing then?
No, I had to go straight into work because we needed the money. So my dad got me a job in the supermarket round the corner, and I filled the shelves up in there and then progressed to the checkout.
Right.
And then used to sing in the shop on a Saturday night with a hairbrush when the shop was shut with my best friend and pretend to be one of the Supremes. So, yeah, and then eventually I was working as a hairdresser. I moved. From there, I became a hairdresser and moved to a shop in Erdington, and then moved to a shop in Sutton Coldfield. And on a Friday night when we finished work, we'd go into the local the pub for a drink, myself and my friend, and there was a duo in there playing all Beatles songs. And this particular night they just said, would somebody get up and sing, please? I think it was Please Please Me. And I did. And they offered me a job. Much to my father's... he went mad, actually, when I got home and told him what I did. But and from then, I formed a band. I said, Dad, I don't want to do hairdressing anymore. I want to sing. So we formed a band called Body and Soul, 6 of us, and we toured Birmingham, all around England, eventually, the North East, Scotland, London, the South. And it was brilliant. It was fantastic.
So from there, the Cissy Stone band evolved, didn't it?
Yes, Body and Soul finished, and I thought, well, I want to carry on. So I was taken up by an agency in Birmingham called Futrell and Tully, which was Eddie Futrell and John Tully, and they decided to, take me on, but I'd had to have a name. They couldn't call me Kathleen Maria Philomena Cunningham, so we invented a name, and Stone came about because of the village that when we got to Stone, we knew we were nearly home if we were up in the North East. And I chose Cissy because St Cecilia is the patron saint of music, so that's where Cissy Stone came from.
And then eventually you entered into at the time, the amazing New Faces.
We did. There was an ad in the paper, and we thought, we'll go down to La Dolce Vita and see if we can get in. And we did, and they gave us one song. You can just do one song, so we did it. And the guy came up afterwards and said, yes, you're in. So we did it. We won the All-Winners show, which brought us on to the gala final, which was won by Roger de Courcy and his little bear. And
we wonder why you were a 7-piece band.
We were, yes.
He was one man with something in a box, yes. And you had to go to Las Vegas. Hotel rooms, flights.
Yes, absolutely.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But in actual fact, we have the little man here himself.
Yes, this is what I got.
And that's what you got. And not a lot of people have got those, have they? Really?
No.
Lenny Henry's got one of these.
Lenny has one. I've got one. Marty Kane had one.
Yeah.
Victoria Wood. She came from New Faces, yeah.
Yeah, so fantastic.
It's a great little doorstop at the minute.
So, from there, Decca Records.
Yes, when New Faces, when we won the all-winner show, immediately we had interest from the record companies, and Decca offered me the most money to sign, so I did, and signed to Decca, and had a single out called Gone But Not Forgotten, which did extremely well, and it's still doing well today. It's a Northern Soul hit, and it's been resurrected by all the...
I know because I looked it up on YouTube, and there's about 20 different versions of people just putting a needle on the record.
Absolutely,
it's got about 30,000 hits.
That's right. Yeah.
It's amazing.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
And from then, they decided, let's do an album, and thought about doing it in the UK, and they said, no, we'll send you to the States. And I went, wow! So off we go to LA, which was incredible.
And one of your incredible stories
yes.
is about when you actually got on the plane.
That's right,
and somebody who sat next to you.
We got on the plane, and my mum and dad were at the back waving, you know, as we were going down, as I was going down the aisle with the producer to board, and they were going, and I was like, what are they doing, you know? And right behind me, I turned around quickly, it was Cary Grant, the actor, and he just walked past me and carried on, and I thought, my goodness, Cary Grant, because my mum loved him, and so did I. And he got on the aircraft, and I got on the aircraft, and lo and behold, we were sitting beside him. So he introduced me to my first martini.
Right. Which wasn't the one out of the bottle. Which wasn't the one out of the,
yes, Martini Rosso. No, it was a neat gin with an olive in it, which was, that was something else.
Fantastic.
Yeah, we had a great time, you know, and then he left, and that was it. Yeah.
But when you arrived in LA and you went down to breakfast in the hotel the next day, who was sitting at the table?
DeForest Kelley from Star Trek.
Bones.
Bones, yes. Yeah. Well, this particular hotel in Hollywood on Sunset Strip, it was a place where all the actors and actresses from the studios came. So I was having breakfast with DeForest Kelley, Bones, and then Phil Lynott walks in and sits down and has a chat with us. Phil was signed to the same label. We were both signed to Decca, so he knew I was, you know, a Decca songstress. So, and Phil was very good to me. He took me everywhere and, you know, showed me the sights, really.
So while you were there then, you were recording an album?
I was recording an album, yeah.
And some of the musicians that you've told me about?
Wow, well, this was something else. Marvin Marshall was the producer, which Diana Ross's producer. And then when I actually arrived at Whitney Studios, there was Steve Gadd playing drums.
Now, Steve Gadd is, for people who don't know, is the drummer who played on Paul Simon's 50 Ways to Leave Your Lover, and he's probably one of the world's best drummers.
Yes. Wawa Watson on guitar, Ray Parker Jr., Ghostbusters.
Right.
George Duke on piano.
Again, a world-famous keyboard player.
What am I doing with all these people, you know? Yeah. God, but they were incredible to work with, you know, and I learnt so much from them. And we put a great album together, and then came back to England, you know, for the release and what have you. And just before we left LA, we were informed that Decca had finished. Polygram had bought them out, and the label had finished. That particular label that we were on in the Decca company was finished. So I was left with an incredible album and nowhere to go with it.
And
so it's in my loft. all the tracks, everything, they're all in my loft. Yeah.
Unbelievable.
It is.
I suppose it's the story of a lot of major record labels that you know, they just decide to move on, don't they?
They do. Yeah.
Just a number in.
If they just waited another month or so, they got the.
Well, at least you got to come back.
I did. Yeah. Yes, I did. Yeah.
So. The next step then, what was that? Back to square one? Back
to square one. I thought, well, what am I going to do now? So I decided, yes, I'll put the band back together and go off and earn some money. So we toured Europe then and got some really good gigs and ended up with a guy in France called John Besnard. And he took us over and gave us some lovely work in Paris. And Saint-Tropez was another place, and Saint-Maxime, great places to work. And then eventually we got the Citroën, the car makers. They threw a massive party, and we were the headlining band in Paris, the Champs-Élysées. From Paris, then we moved to Belgium, Brussels, and the reason left Jean Besnard, and we were contacted by an agent called Freddie Hussart. So he offered us a month in Brussels and the surrounding area. So we accepted it. It saved us coming back to England and then going out again. So off we go to Brussels, which was easy peasy, not a bad drive at all. We get to Ostend and we do the gigs, fabulous gigs. We actually did one where they were roller skating while we were playing, which was something else. And then one day Freddie said to me, he said, I want you to come with me because I've got to make this call. But I was on my way to get some shoes because there were some really nice shoe shops there. So he said, we have to make this stop first and then we'll go to the shoe shop. So we stopped at this apartment and he said, come in with me because I don't want to go in on my own. I said, oh, all right then. So we get to the front door, he presses a button and the door opened and I thought, no, it can't be. It was Marvin Gaye. And I didn't know at the time that Freddie was his manager.
Right.
And he knew that I loved Marvin Gaye and this was a treat for me from him. So we go into the apartment and there was just scatter cushions everywhere, no furniture, but keyboards everywhere and guitars. And he said, Cissy, I've heard all about you from Freddie. And he said, I'm just in the middle of writing this song. And it was, he said, I've got a title for it, but I haven't finished the lyrics. So he started to play it and sing it. And it was Sexual Healing, the last song he'd had. And I was standing there thinking, I think I've just died and gone to heaven. This man, my hero is in front of me, singing to me. You know, so, oh, goodness, Freddie, I kissed him, you know. Thank you. And Marvin said, I'll do something with you when I come back. He said, I've got to go to London first, and then I want to go to the States. And then when I come back to Belgium, I want you to come over and I'll produce you. Because he'd heard some of the things that I'd done. Yeah. So I thought, are you serious? He said, I'm absolutely serious, Blue Eyes. He called me Blue-Eyed Soul, Blue Eyes. So I said, oh my goodness, that's fantastic. So anyway, we had the gig that night, so we had to leave and I thanked him and had a big hug off Marvin Gaye. And I was walking on air, getting to the car, going to the gig, telling the lads, you know, and they went, oh yeah. So anyway, we got to the gig, did the first set, start the second set, and guy comes on and sits down at the piano and little woolly hat and a coat on, and I looked and he smiled, and it was Marvin Gaye. He played the second set with us, and nobody knew. Nobody in the audience knew. And he just got up and left and waved and said, see you soon. So, and that was it. I never saw him again. He went to America and he had that terrible.
And linking that with it, you had another famous keyboard player shortly afterwards, didn't you?
Yes. I thought, if I can't have Marvin Gaye, then I had Jerry Dammers. Jerry for the Specials, formed Specials, and he was with us for a good long time.
He wasn't with the Specials then?
No. He came and joined the band, and we met him in Coventry, and he said, yes, I'd love to be in the band, and he toured England with us. Oh, Jerry was mad. Yeah, I remember I bleached his hair, and then he said, can you bleach my eyebrows as well? So bleached his eyebrows, and he looked like something from the moon, you know. He got big black eyes, you know, no eyebrows and white hair. He was mad, crazy man. Good times had with him as well. My goodness. Yeah.
Going on, you sort of you drifted into Cabaret then, didn't you?
Oh, I did. I thought, what possessed me? Well, I found this lovely long dress and I thought, oh, I want to wear that. So, yes, I got a few Cabaret gigs, and Cannon and Ball saw me, and then, blimey, I got a tour with them, so I had to put the Cissy Stone band on hold, and I went off to tour with Cannon and Ball, which I thought would just be around the UK, but the first gig was in Bahrain, which was incredible. And then we went to Abu Dhabi and came back and then did the tour of the UK. Yeah,
and the old rock and roll stars as well. You did, didn't you?
All the rock and roll stars, Hines from the Tornadoes, Wee Willie Harris, Jess Conrad. Oh my goodness! Did Spain with all of those, and another. Well, that's another story. We won't go into that.
No. I know that you did sort of coming more up to date, I know that you did a big support with Joe Cocker, didn't you? The NEC.
Yes, the NEC. We supported Joe Cocker at the NEC. Well, that was an amazing event. It was to do the NEC anyway. It was just, but Joe Cocker to support him.
Yeah.
And he loved us, and he was so pleased with us that he sent a bath of champagne and beer into the dressing room.
Not mixed together.
No. Bottles of champagne and bottles of beer in this huge bath, and said, "I loved you on me." So
brilliant.
You can imagine what the lads were like after that.
Yeah. And you played at the Royal Albert Hall as well?
We did the Royal Albert Hall, yes. I sat in the, where Judy Garland did her makeup and Frank Sinatra's chair. I sat in the dressing room that he'd used. That was something else. That was,
fantastic.
God, amazing.
Now, I know you've had some health problems, recently.
Yeah, well, I suppose I'd sailed through life, really. The only thing that ever happened to me was I had my tonsils out and nothing else. I was so lucky. But in 2010, I had kidney failure, acute kidney failure caused by a tablet that I was taking for indigestion, would you believe? But Heartlands Hospital saved my life. I had 2 days to live, and they were amazing and saved my life. So recovered from that.
Because you did a charity gig.
Charity gig for the kidney unit there. Yeah, they are incredible people, such a wonderful bunch of people. But and then shortly after that, I lost my hearing in my right ear, and then Dad died in 2014, and just after he died, I think I was diagnosed with cancer.
But that sort of coincided with you working on a new album.
I was doing the new album. We were almost halfway through it, and I had to go into hospital and had the surgery, and everything's so far, so, touch wood, everything's okay. If I get to it next April, that'll be it. It hasn't come back, so next April there'll be a big celebration.
Good.
I'll get another bath of champagne.
Yeah. You then came back, finished the album off.
I did. I mean, Dee, who was one of the producers, he was marvellous, and the patience of a saint, he really has. And he put everything on hold, and I came back, and then I thought, I don't know whether I can do this now. So many things in my head, and losing my dad as well. But I thought, and he encouraged me, and he said, "You must finish this. It's too good." And we did, and I really think it's one of the best things I've ever done. It's wonderful.
And the title is?
It's called Worth the Wait. I thought that was very appropriate.
Well, absolutely, yeah. So, plans for the future? What have you got?
Well, it's to really get this album out now. It's out at the minute. You can buy it at the minute, but and then start writing again.
Because you've just done a new video for it.
I've just done a new video for it, yeah, which is be shown soon, and hope to do another video for one of the other tracks, which I think is worth doing, and then start writing for another album.
Right.
And finish this book, for goodness sake, yeah.
So not busy then?
Oh, no, not at all, no. No, not busy at all. Don't know which way to turn, really.
Well, it's been absolutely fantastic to talk to you.
Oh, thanks for having me, Des.
And, you're looking so well.
I feel great, I just don't want to worry about it now and just get to April and everything will be fine, yeah.
And, well, all the best with the album.
Thank you.
That's amazing stories there. So I'd like to say thank you so much to Cissy for coming in, and I hope you join me again for another Life Stories with one of my guests from the world of entertainment. And we'll just play out with a little bit of one of Cissy's songs.
Went wrong? Was it something I said? I always did the best I could. You took my love, you had it all, and now you're saying it's no good. Please tell me nothing but goodbye. And the sound of your fading footsteps, sound of your fading footsteps.